All right, cool. What can I do for you guys?
Alrighty, 1 second. Um,
Yeah, so I guess do you want me to start, Sarabia?
yeah, you can go ahead and start.
So we have like kind of a big broad question and then we can kind of like add on to it, Sean. So like I guess I'm just gonna explain like our thought process on like you can tell us like if it is like a dumbass idea or not.
Okay.
um so pretty much we tried out DealSniper, obviously we joined the community like a couple weeks ago and just fiddled around and stuff, just trial and error. Um, then we like kind of ran into a big roadblock of just like agents just telling us like, oh, I've been getting like emails and whatnot, like from a lot of people, like the same format, blah blah blah. You know, you get the gist.
Yeah.
And we were just like thinking like, what if we like went the reverse route and like try to contact cash buyers and like title companies and stuff first, so we can get our reassurance like kind of in place and stuff so that we can have our criteria for when we look at properties like on Redfin and whatnot, and just to like build a better relationship, I guess, with the agent and seller, just because a lot of them, from what I've experienced, like asked like for proof of funds and like stuff like that. So it
Mhm.
probably just get I was just wondering like calling like the agent before sending out like the email offer, would that be like a better like step in that direction then, just because like if we just send that email out then call them after, then I feel like we don't know if they're interested or not, like I guess just to add on top of that, just to see if like would that be like a good starting point or whatnot, or just like I guess you could chime in now.
Well, that really just depends on the way that you guys want to handle your business. So if you guys want to take that route, will it slow down the offers that you send out? Yeah, it's going to slow down the amount of offers that you send out. But if it'll bring you a better quality of lead once you send it, then yeah, you can absolutely do that. It all just
Hmm.
depends. Some people like to cast a wide net really fast and then just only work with the people that stick. Some people want to find the people that stick first.
Hmm.
It doesn't really matter. It all just depends on what you're trying to accomplish and how fast.
Okay. uh just to add on to that, so like when it comes to like cash offers and stuff, like if we're like intending to go after this agent or seller or whatnot, and then they say, "Oh, we're not looking for a cash offer," like how could we, I guess, interpret ourselves into their business of like, "Hey, we can give you more options, like create a finance, like what this whole deal sniper is about, or like a sub two if you have a mortgage on it and whatnot." Like, how could we, I guess, kind of get their interest level to the point where they trust us and we look professional, I guess, is what I'm asking.
But in what way? So you're saying that you call a real estate agent, you send them an offer, whatever,
Yep.
and they respond to you and they say, "No, we just want cash." And your question is, how do I change their mind?
I guess not necessarily, or I meant like the opposite. Like if they said they're not interested in the cash offer or they're not interested in seller finance, like how could we, I guess it really doesn't matter which it is realistically because it really depends on what they say. Like I guess how could we like in your words say like no problem, but we're willing to like figure out a better way for you guys for your property to get it off your hands, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I don't. I actually don't do that. So if a real estate agent tells me, "Hey, my seller's not interested in a creative offer, they want cash only," then I
Okay.
move on.
Hmm.
I move to another deal. I'll put them on a follow up in
Hmm.
1 month, and if the property's still listed, then I'll call that realtor back and I'll say, "Hey, look, I know you said that they weren't interested in creative financing. However, the property's been on market for another month. Any chance you can show them my offer and see if they might be interested?" And
Okay.
then when a real estate agent tells you, "Hey, thank you, my seller's not interested." Now, this is only if the real estate agent's being cordial and professional. But if they respond to an offer and they say, "Hey, thanks, but my seller's only looking for cash," then your response should be something along the lines of, "Hey, absolutely no problem. Thank you so much for looking into that. I appreciate your time. Any other properties that you have currently listed right now that are having difficulty moving that may accept a creative offer?" That's how you start to build a relationship with a real estate agent.
Mhm.
Okay.
So,
But
okay,
is it okay if I add in real quick?
yeah.
So what's the reason you avoid like cash offers? Because I started wholesaling like a few months back, and then I recently, found like DealSniper in this community. And the way I was like taught to wholesale was through only cash offers and cold calling, which is obviously not really efficient because like you said, it's a really high quality or really high quantity list but low quality. You know what I mean? So I feel like with through for sale by owners, you kind of like minimize your quantity of your list but higher quality, if that makes sense. I was just gonna ask, like, what's the reason you guys avoid cash offers? Because when I started wholesaling, that's the only thing we would target, if that makes sense.
Are you talking about on or off market?
Like off market. Not it wouldn't be through a realtor. You know what I mean? It would just be like by the owner.
Yeah,
So like a phone
but
call.
that depends. Is it a for sale by owner, but it's on market? Or are we just talking about a random cold call whose house is off market? You call
For
them.
sale by on market, on market.
Oh, yeah, sure. I can show you that.
Yeah.
I can show you
Okay.
exactly why. The reason why I teach my team not to do it is because it's a waste of time, in my opinion. So if you look
Okay.
at my calculator, let's say you have a property that's listed for, I don't know, it's listed for $200,000. We'll use easy
Hmm.
numbers. And it's nice, but it's not flipped. It's on market, but it's not flipped, especially if it's for sale by owner. It's going to need some work. So let's say it needs something simple, $35,000 worth of work. And then you want to make a $10,000 assignment. If it's listed on market, that's all you can offer. Now, I know my sales skills, and even I'm not good enough to tell someone, hey, I know you wanted 200,000, but take 75 for a house that's on market. And the reason why we have to get it that low is because it's on market. Every single local investor that you would try and sell this deal to for a wholesale fee has already seen that property because it's on
Hmm.
market. So they know what it's on market for, and they didn't offer anything for it. So they're not going to take a simple, oh, I got it for 190,000, I got it for 180,000, because then they're just going to go behind your back and like, okay, thanks for telling me what the seller's threshold is, and then they're going to go and negotiate something better. But
Yeah, I
that's
see.
why you
I
have to
see.
get it for such a lower price compared to an off-market property where this house that's listed for 200,000 that needs $35,000 of work. Maybe the ARV for this property is $250,000. That's still
Mhm.
not going to be the greatest deal in the world, but if it needs the same $35,000 rehab and you want to make the same $10,000 assignment, but it's off market, now you can offer $117,500.
I see. I see. So so if it's like an off market, like through cold calling, um, you would like be open to offering a cash offer if that's what they want. Because I feel
Yeah,
like okay, okay, that makes sense. And I also had another question. Um, so when it comes to the deal sniper, I know you can send out like 20 offers like an hour. Like you can like spam send these emails. Um, like based on the only motivation that I saw like from the videos and stuff was the only motivation you guys were going off of was how long it's been listed. So like more than 90 days. Do you think it would be more beneficial or more efficient to find out um mm, like why else they're motivated, like to find out more motivation, like find out their why essentially?
that again goes back to whatever your style is. So
Okay,
you
okay.
can absolutely call a real estate agent and say, hey, why is your seller selling? And they're going to say, dude, send me an offer, get off the phone. Because
Okay.
it's that's none of their business. And then they're by extension, they're going to say that's none of your business. Now, again, this is on market.
Yeah.
Off market, yeah, it's all about motivation. The strategy for off market properties is completely different than Deal Sniper.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you
Okay.
want to call a real estate agent to try and get them to tell you the seller's motivation, yeah, you could do
It's
that.
not gonna happen.
I don't
Oh,
think they're going to give it to you though.
yeah. Yeah.
I
I
think
see.
they're going to tell you to kick rocks.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I see, I see. So, what, I guess, what route would you say has worked best for yourself, when, you be wholesaling? Like, what route would you say works best for you? Do you just spam send out emails and see like what you get back, or do you like more so take the route of like, actually calling the people, finding out more about the property, the motivation, all that good stuff?
Are we talking about on market or off market?
On market.
On market, I'm sending out as many offers as I can, and then I'm
Okay.
aggressively following up. That's what a lot of people
Okay.
don't do. They don't follow up the right way. They'll follow up the timid way. They'll follow up through text message or through another email. I follow up with a phone call.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, that makes sense. So you're just basically like separating on market and off market and going about them in their own like unique ways, I guess you could
They're
say.
completely different,
Um,
strategies for
okay,
their
sounds good.
motivation.
So when it comes down to like the contracts, I have this contract where it's set like where it's like wholesaler like where there's no risk to the wholesaler. Like if you were doing an off market type property for let's say like a cash offer, there's this like thing on the contract. I would have to pull it up, but it says basically where the wholesaler could terminate the contract for any reason. Um, I don't know if there's a contract that you guys like have or anything, but I was just gonna ask, how does
Have
like
you
that whole
been in the
process happen?
Have you been in the Discord at all?
I've been in the Discord. I mean, I saw the contract, but it looks a little bit different than the one I have from like months ago. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I also saw that you could do the contracting through the title company. You know what I mean?
What do you mean when you turn it in to get the deal, like to open escrow? Yeah,
I'm sorry.
you're talking about when you open escrow?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would turn the contract into the title company once you have a buyer.
Okay. So let's say you're not able to, find a real estate investor within the time that you have, let's say like 10 days, 20 days. How would you go like about that? Like, how are you gonna able to like terminate the contract or like, you know, like what
Well,
would happen?
if you did it the right way and told the real estate agent that you were a wholesaler
Hmm.
and you let them know your process, then it's just something in writing, either a text or an email. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, just want to give you an update. We're towards the end of our inspection period. At this point, we don't have anyone willing to move forward. I'm going to give you a call back a little bit later to tell you some feedback on why the deal didn't move. So that way, if your sellers wants to make any adjustments, they can make any adjustments. But for this
Okay.
moment, we're going to have to cancel the contract. Just something saying that
Okay.
it's canceled
Yeah.
in writing, but you then have to actually follow up with them and let them know why the deal didn't sell.
Yeah. I see. Okay. And I'm by the way, I'm sorry if these questions sound dumb, but you are actually helping me get a better understanding about this.
That's all right.
Um,
That's why I'm here.
but let's see. So yeah, when it comes down to the contracts, um, let's say, me and my business partner here, Braden, like we like wholesale, like and we were able to close a property. So how does like the payout work? Like if it was like with two people, do you just add like both of our names into the contract and then it just like gets like split, or like how would that work?
Yeah, both of your names would go on the purchase agreement between you and the seller. Then both of your names would go on the assignment contract between you and the buyer. And then all of that would get turned in. And then if you wanted to throw an extra little spice on top, you guys can both sign a JV agreement outlining what percentage of the assignment you guys both get. And then escrow
Okay.
will just pay you guys out according to that paperwork.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's see. Baron, do you have any more questions regarding that?
Yeah. Yeah, I can ask my own questions, I guess now. So I've obviously emailed a bunch of realtors, talked to them and stuff. For the ones who I've like came across on Redfin like twice, right? How could I, if I see a property that they listed for like again, like later on, like I seen their property like a month ago, and then they have a different property, but it's just by the same person. How could I like how do you tackle like the same like agents like
That you've
to
already sent an offer to on one property in the past,
yeah, exactly.
and assuming they were professional, whether they said yes or no, they were professional to you.
Yeah, so like even if they like said no to like the property that talked before, but like we've been in contacted. But if
Call
I
them.
see them again, okay, just call them
I
just
would
right
call
away.
them. Yeah. Hey, this is Sean. I don't know if you remember me. I put in an offer on the property on 123 Main Street. I saw you got this one listed. Any chance they're open to a creative offer? I didn't want to waste your time sending you an email.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. And then I guess on top of that, like for the ones who say they're not interested, I know it's been said a lot in like the Discord, like people saying like, "Oh, I'm not interested in creative finance." I guess if I'm on like the phone with them, could I like? It's different from email. Obviously, I would just be like, "I'll follow up with you in 30 days." But like if it was on the phone and they said we're not really interested in like creative finance, but we're open to other offers, I guess how could I like keep going with the conversation if they said something along the lines of that?
I wouldn't. It's going to be a waste of your time for whatever reason. And it could be because they don't understand seller finance, they don't understand creative. Maybe the
Hmm.
seller is living in the property and they need the entire purchase price in order to buy another property. The sellers could be getting a divorce, and the divorce decree says they have to liquidate the asset, not do a creative. There could be a myriad of reasons why creative financing offer won't work.
Hmm.
So the only thing that I recommend, which will be the best use of your time, is if they give you a firm no, don't push it, just move on. And if the
Hmm.
property is still listed in a month, that's when you call them back. Hey, I know you said that they weren't interested, but it's still listed. You mind showing them my offer? Maybe they'll take it, or will this offer not work for a different reason? Then you can find out why the offer didn't work the first time and see if you can find a way around it.
Hmm.
And there's
No,
just
that
some
makes
things you just can't find a way around, like a divorce decree. If a judge
yeah.
orders a house is sold and the proceeds split, you can't do a creative on that.
Hmm. No, that makes a lot more sense. And then I guess this is kind of a question for me and my partner. I guess in your opinion, like if you were with someone like just starting wholesaling, but you guys want to like distribute the work together and like make a team, I guess what would your advice be for me and my partner to like, I guess,
Figure
contribute for
out
each other?
which one of you guys is better over on the phone.
I would
I- I'd,
say
I'd probably I'd
safe
probably be on
route.
the phones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, Braden, you're going to send out all the offers, and I guess you'll CC him on it, and that way, anytime there's a response, you can hop on the phone and talk to the realtor.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And then in the meantime, when you're not on the phone talking to realtors, you should be sending out offers too. And Braden, you should get good at sending out or talking to realtors.
Yeah.
That's what
That
I would
makes a
do.
lot more. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I guess yeah, we're trying to like tackle on and off market. I guess is there any way we could like use off market properties onto DealSniper? Like is there any way like I guess I mean I know it's on and off, right? Like it's two different things, right? Like it's two different ball fields, but like if you plug in an off market property and it's like I guess somewhat close, like the numbers that the DealSniper is giving is somewhat close to like what the I guess seller is saying, like off market is saying, then I guess is it
You can absolutely use DealSniper to generate an off-market creative offer. Yes, you can. The
okay,
only thing
perfect.
that'll probably be off is the purchase price that DealSniper generates, because it's going to go off this estimate instead of the purchase price, since there isn't one because it's not listed.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
Okay, yeah.
same monthly payment, the same estimated rent, taxes, and insurance, that'll all be accurate, even if it's off
Hmm.
market. So you can use that to
Okay.
build your offer.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was just wondering because I tried plugging in a couple off market properties and it would give me like completely off numbers, and then one would be like, the same as what I've talked to the seller agent about.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to just, if it's off market, it's going to be pulling from the Zestimate or wherever other it's scrubbing the data from, and it's going to
Mhm.
throw off the rest of the numbers because there's no purchase price and it's looking for a listed price.
Okay. Are you able to like manually change the numbers within DealSniper if like
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
you can absolutely change the numbers in DealSniper on the side. If you were to put in, that's cute. We'll do that one. Oh, never mind. Let's see. So if I put one in, it's gonna pull the property up, and now this one just got listed. Is it 168, 130? Yeah. So that's what it would do. It would pull the purchase price from here because this
Mhm.
wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you go down here to the numbers, if I wanted to offer $300,000, I can absolutely do that. It'll change the seller finance amount, and then all I have to do is change the down payment to whatever is appropriate, and
Mhm.
it'll change all this for me.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was just wondering if because of like I don't want to mess with any like I guess filters if that makes sense, just to like mess up I guess what numbers they gave me, you know what I'm saying?
The only
So
thing
I
that
was just
I wouldn't do is I wouldn't go too much higher of a monthly payment from what
Mhm.
DealSniper gives you. To be honest with you, just so I can give myself wiggle room, this says $672. I would change it to 600 because now I have an extra $72 a month to play with. I wouldn't change it to now because it was so close to 700. You can
Mhm.
also you're just rounding, so whatever makes
Yeah.
sense. But if it says 672, I wouldn't change it to $1,000. I wouldn't do that because that's probably not going to work.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And then when we're assigning the contract, whether if it's a JV deal or not, it's on the down payment, correct? That you would essentially you wouldn't put the assignment fee on the purchasing agreement, but on the assignment of contract, you would put your assignment fee on the down payment when you're signing that contract.
It would go on the down payment and the purchase price.
Okay, so it would be on both. Okay, that
So
makes
if
a
you
lot
look
more.
at this deal here, the purchase price for the seller, the amount of money the seller's getting is 260,000, and they're getting a $22,000 down payment. But if you look at
Mhm.
what it looks like for the buyer, the purchase price is $270,000 with a $32,000 down payment. That's because of the $10,000 assignment fee. So you add it to
Mm.
both.
Okay, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Well, Sarabia, do you have any
Here,
more questions?
yeah, just one last question here. Can you go back to the Deal Sniper tab?
Sure.
Yeah, so okay, so with the seller finance email, is that like the I know you can like refresh and make it like sound a little bit different and all, but like when you're wholesaling, you're sending out emails for on market properties, do you just like send it as it is, or do you like tweak it up a little bit to not sound like so much like a robot, I guess you could say? Because I know these realtors and
You talking
people
about
selling
this
these
part?
properties. Yeah, like yeah, just like that part because I know they get a lot of emails like that. I'm just trying to find a way like to be different, I guess, that sets you apart from other wholesalers or other people trying to buy the property. Like I guess just for a higher chance or uh to get like a response, if that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, you can. I mean, if you really wanted to, you can just copy that
Yeah.
part and
Hmm.
write your own opening and then paste
Hmm.
it into the email. That's absolutely fine. You can do that.
Okay, but like when you do it, do you just send it
Oh,
out as it is?
I use, yeah, I use with DealSniper because again, I'm doing speed to deal, so I'm sending out so
Okay.
many. I'm
Yeah.
not making too many alterations. The only thing I'm doing is adding a balloon at the end of the term. That's it.
Okay. Sounds good.
I think
Was that it?
yeah, I think that it was. Do you have any more questions, Sarabia?
Not at the moment. I can contact you through Discord, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you for your time, Sean. I really appreciate that. It did help a lot.
Not a
Um,
problem. If you guys ever need to do this
yeah,
again, just hit me up and let me know.
Yeah, I
sounds
appreciate it,
good.
Sean.
No worries. I'll
Have a
talk
great
to you
rest of
later.
your day.
You too. See
Bye
ya.
bye.
See you.